Hey everyone, Skoggul here. Gonna be making another video. This is Lee Sin top lane versus Cho'Gath top lane. And gonna speed it up a little bit. We're at about 1 minute in, so this is the pre-game action. Sorry, hiccuping there a little bit. And he's just going on. His team's trying to get a deep ward in. He's just there to back him up, make sure he's in position to follow up. And he hasn't picked a skill yet, because he doesn't know in case there's a fight. He'd probably have wanted to take Q or a cripple if he needs to, and he's gonna be taking whatever he needs to in lane, which is probably his W. And he's going against Cho'Gath, so you need to be very mobile, and that's why he picks W. And if you're going to watch his tactics here, he's going to like the shield so that he can just instantly jump in, and he's just going to be autoing onto Cho'Gath as often as he can and getting the farm he can, using his shield, autoing again. He started with the red fortitude, big potion, whatever, I believe it is the fortitude elixir. So red elixir plus red pots plus a ward, so he can just be hyper aggressive and have a ton of health. You could see that he's just got way more than Cho'Gath does, and he has the attack damage. Cho'Gath has cloth armor and potions, just the cloth to try to deal with Lee Sin, and the red fortitude pot's just enough to make that not really happen. Right now, Lee Sin's just too big for him. So he got Q second. That will let him jump around, farm from a distance, just be really safe. And right now, the advantage with the red elixir is just to Lee Sin. So he's just going to be very aggressive, push his advantage, and be as aggressive as he can. And that is what he's going to do. So that's what we're dealing with here. Just play it forward, use your shield, and just be hyper aggressive, make him burn potions all day. That's what you want to be going for. And here, Shaco is spotted in the jungle, and he just saw Karthus jungle, so he wanted to be aggressive. And you want to respond to everything you can as your team. So as soon as he comes out of his thing, it was a flash, max distance Q, ignite. That's what got that kill. And first blood goes down to Lee Sin, and that was just due to Kiwi responding and running out there. So that's just what responding your team does for you. Unfortunately, no assist to Karthus, but at least he paid for his invade, which helps your team. And then you can see how that's really going to help him in his lane against Cho'Gath. He now has a significant advantage, and that's going to help a lot. So 2 points into W, a bigger shield is going to help a lot in this, and it's more spell vamp and lifesteal, so a ton of sustain there. He has 1 point into E, which is your crowd control, and 1 point into Q right now. So you're going to want that sustain and the shield to deal with Cho'Gath, because he has quite a bit of the sustain. And when you're backing, you want to be able to push out to their tower as often as you can. That's just basic laning principles. You always try to remember that when you can. Every little advantage, every creep that he loses because the tower killed it, just that much you can get in your favor. So he goes with more sustain and goes Vamp Scepter and Adorn's Blade. And his red elixir is now worn off, but he has double buffs that he stole away from the Shaco that invaded. So Shaco gives him the double buffs. He's going to go out to mid lane and gank. You can see that he's a little bit ahead on the gold chart. And he's going to go out there, use his W onto a minion just to get really close to Nidalee, and since Nidalee does not have 6, there's not a whole lot Nid can do, and with able to finish off Nidalee because he didn't miss anything. And Shaco's so far behind that he really shouldn't have helped, had not much escape. If you wait for Shaco to come out of his Q and try to get away, and he reveals himself, and you land your Q, or you land your Q first and then he reappears, you can wait for him to reappear and then Q back to him and then hit your pound, and you can make him reveal so that he can't use his invisibility on his deceive, and you can just get there. So Lee Sin kind of counters that pretty hard, because you can just skip to wherever he goes to and you can reveal him. So he's just checking the brush. I forgot to hit the don't show blue side's vision, so that's kind of on me there, but he didn't know where Cho'Gath was. That's why he checked that brush. If Cho'Gath would have been backing the brush, he would have wanted to fight him right there. So by ganking mid, he got himself a double kill. He's now 3-0 in the lane. And uses his shield, gets himself away. Cho'Gath has incredible burst, so as tanky as he is, he still has burst. It's why he's a fairly contested champion. You'll see him. I don't know if he's quite as hot of an item right now as he used to be, but he's still a decent pick. He was a really hot item for a long time, very highly banned picked champion. Still like him. He's still a great pickup. His silence got nerfed a little bit, and I think that made him a little bit less highly picked. So Cho'Gath, after feasting onto him, is able to get the lane a little bit pushed. So pickaxe was the next item of choice for this Lee Sin. Get some damage going. When you're 3-0 and really snowballing, why not go damage? If you're not snowballing, Warmogs is a great choice. There's lots of decent choices. Going tanky, going anti your lane, going with an MR item works, going with cooldown MR like Spirit Visage, since he does have some sustain, makes him sustain even better and gives him some CDR. You can go with some armor items if you'd like to. So there's definitely options depending on your matchup. But for this matchup, and especially if it's going well, he just opts for more damage. Definitely a decent idea on Lee Sin's when it's going really good. So instead of just staying pushed and exposed without wards out, which Lee Sin, it's nice to have a ward going around. He doesn't right now, but when Lee Sin has a ward, he has something to throw. It's like an extra flash. But with Cho'Gath not showing for a while, he got the free golem camp without the lane pushing one way or the other. Just kind of nice free denial for both people, except for that he got a golem camp while Cho'Gath did nothing. So it's a slight advantage to him. Nothing too crazy, but free gold, free advantage is always nice. And with his shield and with his sustain, he'll be just fine with the items he has. You can just see how much he does hurt Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is able to land his skills back, but you can see even with Cho'Gath's sustain and tankiness, how much damage once you start getting ahead Lee Sin can do, and how much he can negate with that shield. I'm definitely one of those people that agrees that manaless shields are definitely OP. Champions that are manaless really shouldn't have shields, but a lot of them tend to have it. So he's able to barely clear the range there. He knocks him back and then just follows through and then gets out of the range of the tower. Very excellent kill, one-on-one. Knows his damage. He actually doesn't knock him back. That was Cho'Gath's idea to leave there. He possibly could have returned the kill had he stayed under the tower and made him fight there and actually just gone for it. So we've got, since he's 4-0, a 38-50 versus 25, almost 2600, and he's building more mana, looking like he's going for that Hex Drinker with the no magic boots mantle, and he's got boots now. Definitely getting ahead of this Cho'Gath. So this is going pretty good for him. Cho'Gath's just going to have to start building for the team fights instead of the laning phase. It's just not going to be going fairly good. If it's not going so bad, he not picked up the 2 kills mid, and your Cho'Gath in this matchup. Just keep the armor up and keep your sustain going. Try to make sure you don't get too extended out without a gank coming, because had it not been for the 4-0 and it had just been 2-0, then it wouldn't be as bad, and with the gank you'd be able to kill him. At this point it's going to be really hard anyway about it. You probably just want him to push under your tower and then hope with your feast you can return the kill. So At this point, he just wants to keep that wave as cleared as fast as he can under the tower, so it doesn't get too out of control. Because right now with Kassadin diving, he's just in trouble. There's no way he can take the burst of Kassadin and Lee Sin. And Lee Sin leaves. It would have been enough damage to the tower, but they come and clear the wave just barely in time. But basically, the laning's over. Lee Sin's going to roam. So hope you learned something about how to do this game. Start with the Red Elixir and be very aggressive. Take care.